Nah, you're all right.
All
You're
right.
all
My
right.
phone, I'll be honest, my phone's all cracked up, so I don't even really see that well, but
Oh well.
I can hear you good though.
You can hear me good. I'm
Yeah.
here with a familiar face to Fightful.com. It's Matt Riddle. Now, Matt, we got to get down to nut cutting time right here. How does it feel a year
I thought you
later?
weren't
Look,
gonna do that. I thought you weren't gonna do that, not cutting time. I thought we were gonna take an easy interview this time, and you're coming at me sideways already.
there were things I said I wasn't going to ask you about, but I didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
anything about asking you about what it's like to have the second best hair on this broadcast right now. Look
I
at
have the
this.
second best, or you have the second
You have the
best?
second best, without a doubt. This is like another Elias Theodoru come to Jesus meeting for you, where you saw his hair and now you
Well,
see mine. And that
well,
was the first thing you mentioned when we saw each other face to face here.
your hair is nice. It's got a nice curl at the end. I can
Yeah,
tell you take care of it. You comb it. You know what to do with it. But
yeah, I
that other
do.
guy, his hair is still. There's a reason why he has sponsors.
Yeah,
That
per
hair's,
plus, man.
dude, his hair is phenomenal. Like, because my hair is pretty nice, and that's not bad hair yourself. But that dude, guy's good. He's
Well,
good hair.
fortunately, even if I might not have better hair than Elias, I'm way prettier than him, and I'm a
Yeah,
way better fighter than him and you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
let, let's just talk some shit.
Easy.
I was on a conference call a while back with
Ooh,
one Kenny Omega, and he put you
whoa.
over.
He
He put
did.
you over big time, Matt. What'd you think about that? I know you heard about it.
I mean, I'm a fan of his work. I've seen him do a couple things. And I think he's one of the greatest things in the business of wrestling today. So hearing that from him is, yeah, that's awesome. That's a stallion move. It's I wasn't. You don't expect somebody at that level to even know who you are. And the fact that he knew who I was and spoke highly of me was, it was awesome.
So, have you ever like had any interaction with him? I mean, I'm sure have you all been on any shows together
I
at all?
shared a locker room with him at PWG, I think last year at Bola, and he was him tagging with the Bullet called the Young Bucks, and they did like a 6-man tag, I think, against like Phoenix, Pentagon, and somebody else. I forget.
Phoenix is
But
pretty
yeah,
awesome too.
yeah, he killed it last night. But yeah, that's the only time I really didn't talk to him. I don't even know if we shook hands. I don't know.
Really?
He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. I think we at least nodded. We are like,
Yeah. So you're not the type of guy who walks in there and shakes everybody's hand.
well, I'm not a real kiss ass, so I don't want to like, oh, Kenny Omega's here. I'm gonna go up and shake his fucking hand. It's more like if we walk by each other, I'll shake a hand. I just feel like a lot of times, and wrestling, a lot of
Yeah.
times in wrestling, it's almost like, dude, I get it. Goodbye. Hello. Like we shook hands like 6 times already. You don't have to shake hands every time you go to the gas station. Like it's one of those things. But at the same time, you are showing mutual respect by shaking hands. But I think a bow or a nod is just as good as a handshake.
A bow, huh? Who have you
I've I,
bowed to?
dude, I'll tell you this. When I first started wrestling, I tried the bow. And I would try to
Really?
bow. Well, because everybody's grabbing hands and shaking hands, and I'm not used to it, and nobody wants to, like, fist bump, whatever. I was like,
It can
maybe
get
I can get
messy. It can get messy. You don't know where
it.
everybody's hands have been.
Exactly. That's what you don't know where my hands have been.
That's very
Maybe
true.
I like to keep a messy hand. And, with people always trying to touch it, I feel bad. So, I tried the bow, but it doesn't work. You have to touch.
So,
It's a rule.
when's the last time you hit somebody with a bow?
Oh, I hit bows every weekend. I hit at least 3 bows in Vancouver's Saturday.
Like, to who? Who's
What do you
worthy of the bow?
mean?
Who's worthy of the bow?
Say like you're like 10 feet away. You could make the walk to each other, but
Uh
instead
huh.
you're like, later, bro.
Okay. Oh, like that.
You mean traditional Japanese bow?
Yeah.
Oh no, no, this is modified American bow. A bro bow. I
Sure.
think I get. Do you still see me?
No, hell no, I don't see you.
Now
There we
you
go.
do.
Now I see you.
But
So,
yeah, it's a
not
bro
a
bow.
traditional
It's like
bow.
it's still that's the respect. There's the bet.
I mean, to be honest, when you said that, I was like, all right, pretty well established MMA fighter, Matt Riddle.
You just thought I was straight traditional.
Yeah, I was like, who? I was like, what kind of impression?
You know what? Sometimes I do like a half semi-traditional bout after matches to the crowd. You know, like
yeah, of course.
You know, you do that. Blow some kisses. I love you guys too. Thanks for coming. If you didn't, I wouldn't have a job. I'm out.
Yes.
You know,
of course. That's the thing. They make that kind of impression. I'm like, damn, who tore it up in the ring with Riddle to make him just straight up dip down and bow his head?
Hey, I'm not saying I haven't bowed. Like, I'll bow to, you know, the Suzukis and the Ishis and, you
Triple
know.
H.
And maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'll bow down to the game.
So, did you ever hear the story about Young Bucks getting heat for not shaking Booker T's hand backstage in TNA?
No, but you see, I like Booker. I mean, I've never met him, but he seems nice. I've been to his school in Texas, and they all seemed pleasant. But Booker comes from a different time, and it's more traditional. And you were like, and it's still like that most places, you know. But at the same time, I guarantee the Bucks are kind of like me. You don't want to seem like a kiss ass. And Booker T is a legend. He's a five-time.
Yeah.
Right? There's 3 of those. You know, like that's pretty impressive. So it's like they probably didn't want to be like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm just kissing ass. So like I won't go up to him. If he comes by, I'll shake his hand or something. And you know, he probably just never went by him. And now there's tension.
Well, the thing is, Booker T always strikes me as that kind of guy too. Like in his type of attitude, it's either like he commands everybody's respect, or he's the type of guy who's like, no, I'll shake your hand later. But it might be kind of hard to tell with Booker because, I mean, he can be confrontational. I mean, he kind of trolled the internet with the Corey Graves thing. Did you see where he pretended he wanted to fight Corey?
Yeah, I saw that. Is that a thing at WWE? I can just like pick fights with coworkers and we can handle it outside with Twitter.
Oh, apparently I interviewed Corey Graves a while back.
They both have their job and that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, so I guess we can just fight each other in the parking lot.
I mean, Corey Graves was talking to me on the record, which never happens with WWE guys, about wanting to fight CM Punk the night of his fight. That was pretty wild.
I'll be honest, that might actually be a pretty good fight.
It might be. That was legitimately
they're both extremely worn down. They're both a little worn down from the biz. You know, I think that's a perfect those are the fights we should be booking. Pro wrestler versus pro wrestler in MMA.
Oh, I thought Bellator should have booked Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger as soon as they signed Swagger. I don't know. It's kind of wild. I'm sure you saw CM Punk's fight, yeah?
I saw highlights.
Now, maybe it's just me, but I hear a guy has been training for 3.5 years at one of the premier camps, Rufus Sport. How can that be possible? Even if you're the worst ever, how can you spend 3.5 years there and have those types of fundamentals?
Well, honestly, because when you get thrown right into the lion's den, that's kind of what happened.
It's Mike Jackson.
It's still, dude. I don't mean the fighter. I mean the camp.
Okay.
Like just surviving. How many times do you think CM Punk actually got a punch off in training?
That's true. He ain't punching Sergio Pettis.
And everybody, and when you go to a killer gym, everybody just wants to kill you. I remember when I started off fighting, I trained at smaller gyms, and I got good. I actually trained in my apartment. Got really badass. And then I started winning all these tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like a lot of people are like, I want to be the best at MMA. I'm going to go to Greg Jackson's. And it's like, dude, the worst guy in there is like a high level. They're all high level dudes. Even if you're training with the amateurs, those amateurs moved there so they could eventually train with the pros.
Oh, for a lot of people, walking off the street versus 2 weeks in is a lot.
And then you got to realize this. Not only people probably try to take his chin and body at the gym.
It's true. That's true.
You know how many MMA fighters probably showed up and were like, oh, you want to spar? I'll help you out. And then just beat on them just to say they did. And I'm not saying I would because that's not who I am, but I've been in both games and I know how this works, you know?
How many MMA offers have you gotten since you started pro wrestling?
I've only gotten a couple, and they're always foreign. They're always like in China or
Mhm.
Russia, you know. And I don't know. Maybe I feel like American MMA doesn't have the money it used to, or it really never
Mhm.
had. It was just a boom. But it seems like the only companies that can actually even pay like a good amount of money, other than Bellator and the UFC, are companies outside America.
And a couple of those just shut down, like or not shut down, but there's delaying events all over the
Of
place, like
course,
ACB.
dude. Well, it's too expensive. It's ridiculous. It's saturated, and it's. I feel bad for MMA fighters right now.
So
Hence,
I mean,
all of them are hopping over to pro wrestling. Kane's over here,
yeah.
Ronda's over here. They're all coming over, and then yeah.
What do you
I
think the
paved.
motivation for
I
Kane
pay.
was?
I don't know. I think I paved the way. I think I'm a real pioneer for these guys.
Well, I mean, hey, we've got a crossover MMA pro wrestling boxing website that you were a part
Yeah,
of. So, I mean,
I was.
I just want to say it's a good time. It's a good time to be in that business. So when you see a Brock Lesnar popping up in the UFC, what does that say to you about the UFC's business model? That they're taking a pro wrestler, not even just a pro wrestler that doesn't have weekly exposure. He's not on the show every week, and they're still like, this is the guy we need.
I think the UFC is grabbing for straws. I don't think all the other companies are shutting down for no reason. I think there is a reason. MMA is losing a lot of fans, and it's hurting them. And they have too many shows. You know the problem. Like, can you even keep up with all the fights? They had a fight Sunday yesterday during the day, right?
It was terrible, except for the main event. Anthony Smith looked really good.
The one who knocked out Shogun,
Oh yeah,
dude.
he looked great.
I mean,
He
he
was
looked great. Then again, Shogun's been in how many wars in how
yeah.
many countries around the world? Like, dude, good fight for sure for that guy. But it's like you didn't fight the Shogun.
Yeah,
You
of
didn't fight.
course.
It's like so.
And still, the sad state of affairs that division is in, Shogun is probably a fight or two away from a title shot. That's how rough that division is.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
kind of makes your point. So, as we wrap up, this is a big time in the life of Matt Riddle. As you look back on your first few years on the independent circuit, what stands out to you about the experience you've had?
You know, uh, the biggest things that stick out to me are just the opportunities I've been given. I've been really lucky. I think my background helped me out, but I think I've talked to enough people and I've been in the business long enough where I know, especially with my past, because people were really hesitant to deal with me, that I've worked really hard and I just got awesome opportunities. And like if there's a couple things I remember that really like make me happy so far, like guys like Shibata giving me opportunities, guys like that, like coming to the indies and brushing shoulders with me, especially stuff like that. Like those are big moments, or even like the biggest shows. Or hey, Matt Riddle's Bloodsport. That's been really cool, and I think we're gonna do multiple other ones in the future. So hopefully we keep that going.
It would be a neat trick.
Yeah.
Matt, I want to thank you so much. It was good seeing your face and your somewhat mediocre hair.
I don't know, man. The
You
hair
got it's
still.
kind of mullety right now with the hat hair.
I always rock hat hair, bro.
You seen Brian Pillman Jr. rocking the full mullet?
Dude, I hang out with Brian Pillman Jr. We're the Hollywood Bros.
He is a when people ask me how he is, I say suspiciously nice, that guy. He is just super nice.
Yeah,
What
he's
a
pretty.
gentleman.
I really like him. He's a good guy. He's pretty hilarious.
He is.
Keeps it real.
Yeah.
He's a real bro.
He's doing things the right way. He could have just hopped in and got some turd level indie bookings based on who his dad was. No, he's like, oh, let me go to OVW. Then let me go up and train with Sammy Callahan. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go not even like Eastern Canada. I'm going to go all the way to Western Canada and train under Lance Storm. He's doing things the right way.
He's doing good things. He's also been training MMA as well.
Has he?
He's been doing jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. Like the guy's really. I really think in a couple of years, I think it's going to be something serious. I think right at first people are like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," but when the kid can work and actually do something crazy, it's like people are really going to get behind it.
Well, I know WWE like him. Yet another thing you two have in common. Anyway, Matt, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Any parting words?
Hey, thanks for having me. It was so nice to talk to you and see your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, I tried to talk to you ahead of Bloodsport, and you just evaporated into thin air.
Bro, my schedule before Bloodsport, my schedule WrestleMania weekend, I still haven't recovered from that shit.
You didn't do anything that weekend. You did wrestle another former Fightful contributor, Deonna Purrazzo, who got signed by WWE.
And I was victorious.
You were. You were. It was a fluke, but you were victorious.
Well, I guess Sean Pearson was on. He beat me, but that's bullshit because that was a Canadian decision. In Vegas, I win. In Japan, I win. I had the heart in that fight.
You beat Jason Kincaid too. He writes for us.
Oh yeah, I did at AEW in Chicago.
You're 2-1. That's pretty good.
I'd say 2.5 because
let's say that's a UFC title shot right there. 2-1 these days.
I'm shocked they haven't called me and been like, Matt, we're bringing you back. I'm shocked.
Do you think they will? Because I think they will.
They probably will, and I'll be like, this is the saddest day of both our lives.
They hit you with that 500K plus pay-per-view points. What are you going to do?
Do they still make that kind of money? Do they still push numbers?
Well, I mean, that's probably I doubt it, but I mean, you're getting the 500K plus pay-per-view points.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Then again, I had to let somebody commit or try to commit extreme violence on my body. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. Or I could win in 10 seconds and be a real star. But then they'd want me to fight again, and it'd be a whole nightmare. And then I'd have to travel and fight on Sundays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for fans that really don't like me. So it's just... The
USA Network would love you then. Matthew, thank you so much.
Hey, follow me on social media.
It's Super King of Bros now, yeah?
Super King of Bros at Twitter. Riddle Bro on Instagram. Matthew Riddle at Facebook. That's it.
I'm hanging up on you, Matt.